Coming up on Mountain News at 6, the trial for a man charged with the murder of a police officer continues. It's now in the hands of a jury. Police say a man with dementia was robbed at his home. What we know about the incident.
And we have a couple stray showers on live pinpoint Doppler radar. When will they let up and when will we cool off? I'll have those answers in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Community members in London are awaiting a verdict after police say a drunk driver was involved in a crash that killed a London police officer. A jury in Western Kentucky is now deliberating in that case. WYMT's Madison Carmouche spoke to folks in London today about their feelings about the trial.
In October 2022, on-duty London police officer Logan Medlock was killed by a drunk driver.
To me, I think if you take the responsibility of drinking, then you should take the responsibility of not getting behind the wheel of that car.
Karen Hill is a retired first responder and says being a first responder is a sacrifice many will never understand.
It's more than that. I mean, he's more than an officer. I mean, he has a family. And when you have a family, they all stick together.
Ed Bowling lives in London and says the grief hit the community hard in 2022 and still to this day.
It's something that might, it kind of gets less abrasive, but it's still something you think about every day, especially every morning. I pass by his memorial, flags there, and his name's on it.
Bowling and Hill say they are closely awaiting the verdict of the trial despite it being moved to Warren County.
His life, his family, and our community got cheated because somebody made a very poor decision. You can make choices, but you don't get to choose consequences. And that's kind of coming roundabout right now.
But regardless of the outcome, the Medlock family is not alone within their community.
My prayers go out to Logan's family, to Courtney and her son and his parents. And London's praying that you get justice.
In London, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
And of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on the case as we await a verdict. But for the latest, you should make sure to download the WYMT News app. A grand jury indicted a man on murder charges. Brandon Mullins of Stanford was charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. The charges stem from police finding 2 bodies in the Eubanks community, which were later identified as Mullins's father and uncle. Mullins is being held at the Pulaski County Detention Center. Police in Southern Kentucky are looking for some home invasion suspects. The sheriff in Whitley County says someone broke into a man's home early Wednesday morning, attacked him, and then stole his money and his SUV. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on that investigation.
A caretaker arrived for work Wednesday morning to discover her client was the victim of a violent crime in his home.
Someone had basically forced their way in on him at the front door, demanding money from him, ended up taking an undisclosed amount of money.
They also took his SUV, a white GMC Yukon. The sheriff received information that it may have been spotted in Tennessee. They're not sure where exactly it or the suspects are, but they say they have good evidence in the case.
I feel fairly confident at some point the investigators will solve this.
Police are not identifying the victim. They're also not identifying the exact house on Mountain View Road where this took place. They say they are keeping some aspects of this case confidential to not hinder the investigation and hurt their chances of finding whoever is responsible.
We don't feel this was a random incident. We feel that the victim was targeted specifically. We don't feel anybody else in the area is in danger.
The sheriff says it's a troubling case given where the crime occurred.
Your home's your castle, so as far as you can go, and a lot of people feel victimized in their home. I mean, it feels a lot more personal when it's in your home.
The homeowner was taken to the hospital but was expected to be released. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The sheriff says he believes it is likely more than one person was responsible for the home invasion. Part of Interstate 75 southbound in southern Kentucky was blocked after a truck fire this afternoon. It happened between the two Williamsburg exits in Whitley County. Police say a tanker truck caught fire, but the fire was put out before it could spread to the main fuel tank. The fire response and cleanup resulted in a major backup, as you can see, in the southbound lanes. Fortunately, no one was hurt. A Texas man is now behind bars in Laurel County. Police stopped a car as they said the driver, No Vega of Houston, was acting suspiciously. Police said they found a smoking pipe and crystal-like substance before Vega began running away. After catching Vega, police said they found open beer bottles in the car. Vega is facing resisting arrest, possession of meth, and other charges. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Kentucky State Police released a statement today regarding a story we told you about yesterday concerning a man in Perry County who says a KSP helicopter flying overhead destroyed his garden. The release says, quote, upon receiving a complaint yesterday and speaking with the involved parties, it appears the Vico community has suffered significant damage from recent storms. And KSP believes the marijuana eradication did not cause damage to any property, end quote. You can read the full response on WYMT.com. Breathitt Countyans can expect some traffic changes in Jackson soon. Officials with the State Highway Department announced crews will begin work on Highway 15. The northbound lane will be closed between Indian Hollow Road and Lakeside Drive. A 35-mile-per-hour speed limit will be imposed in the work zone. Brief delays are to be expected as crews move barriers. This will all begin Monday, August 12th. A Knott County bridge that was replaced is now open. Road Department officials say the bridge is at the intersection of Kentucky 550 and Kentucky 2759. Drivers are still encouraged to use caution because officials say striping and the guardrail installation will be completed later.
If you have the WYMT First Alert Weather app, you just received a push notification saying that the latest drought monitor has been issued. So we are discussing that on the weather app. If you don't have the app, make sure you download the weather app or scan that QR code right there to download the free WYMT First Alert Weather app. And if you have it downloaded, thank you so much. Make sure it is updated to the latest version. We do have another forecast coming out on there around 8 o'clock this evening. Live pinpoint Doppler radar right now showing a stray shower or two just to the south of Jackson over towards London. Where is this coming from? It's coming from now Tropical Depression Debbie. We're like on the outskirts of Tropical Depression Debbie, so that's why we're seeing a few little renegade showers pull through the area, or push through the area, I should say. We're staying mainly cloudy as well because of Debbie. Numbers for today made it into the 70s and 80s, even low 90s over towards Ashland, 88 in Somerset, 80 in Monticello, 82 in Williamsburg. We find temperatures still in the 70s and 80s, mid 70s in Jackson, as well as Wise, upper 70s in Clintwood. So the next 12 hours keeps temperatures in the 80s by the 7 o'clock hour, mid 70s throughout the overnight hours. When you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the 60s and 70s will greet you. I'll have your first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Schools throughout the mountains continue to open their doors for students after the summer break. Several districts started yesterday and today. This morning, the Laurel County school system started its new year. WYMT's Austin Hicks was in London to catch the excitement.
That was the sound of the start of the 2024-25 school year in Laurel County. Throughout the summer, school officials have been planning on making their school year special for their students.
We've done a lot of work this summer about school culture and making it a place that not only for students to come to where they feel accepted and have fun, but also for staff.
Vice Principal of London Elementary School, Miranda Parker, said that the school officials wanted to find ways to get their students excited for learning. Their answer, pep rallies.
We just want our kids to be excited about the first day and to want to come back the next day after that. So, because when they get home with their parents, that's the first thing, how's your day? Well, if you're just going over rules and procedures, you're not going to have a great first day. So we want our kids to see what we're about, having fun, celebrating them, recognizing them, and just loving and caring for them too.
Normally, pep rallies are the tool that schools use to celebrate their student athletes. But the Laurel County officials say they want to celebrate all of their student achievements this school year.
I recognize those students who sometimes never get recognized. You know, they may not have perfect attendance, but their attendance may have improved. They may not have a 4.0 GPA, but their GPA's improved this quarter. So just doing a lot of things to make them feel welcome and recognized.
As is the goal every year, Laurel County is aiming to see all of their students succeed.
We're all about Laurel County kids. You know, they're all our kids instead of just London Elementary. We want to see everybody successful. And we have a transient population within our district, of course. So sometimes we'll get kids from other schools, you know, within our district, and we expect the same thing.
Parker said the goal is to do great things for their students so that they can go on to do great things in their community. In Laurel County, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, first alerting you to the weekend where a small chance of rays in the forecast for tonight. The cool down will begin on Friday, but sunglasses, oh, you're going to need them this weekend. Details in a few minutes.
And a resource organized by the Oddfellows Lodge and some local businesses in Prestonsburg trying to get more support to help meet needs of students.